boys and girls. So I would like to continue reading more of Ezra Jack Keats books. Last week we read a couple, and they're such beautiful stories. Well, today we're reading one of my favorites. It's called Jennie's Hat, and it's written by Ezra Jack Keats. And if you look at the cover of my book, look at what she has on her head. Is that a hat? Doesn't look like a hat to me, but it's kind of funny, isn't it? Well, let's see what other hats she has on. Jennie's Hat. This is a very old book, boys and girls. It was written the same year that Mrs. Latkowski was born. Jennie's Hat. A new hat. Jennie's favorite aunt promised to send her one as a present. Jennie waited and dreamed and waited. Shutting her eyes, she sighed, "It'll be big and flowery and oh so very beautiful." And at last it came. So she's thinking she's getting a big flowery hat. Oh, wow. She ran to her room and opened the box. "Oh no," she gasped. "It's such a plain hat." "Why, dear, I really think it's quite nice," her mother said kindly. Jennie blinked back her tears and put the hat under her bed. She must have felt really disappointed. Do you remember this picture? She put on a straw basket to see what sort of hat it would make. And she drew pictures. "Hat-choo!" she sneezed. "Bless you, dear," called her mother. "And what are you doing?" "I'm drawing a hatterpillar." "I mean a caterpillar," answered Jennie. "Oh dear," sighed her mother. "I see." Then she tried on a lampshade and a little flower pot, a TV antenna, and a shiny pan. But none of these would do. Not really. Those look like good hats, boys and girls. Jennie noticed that it was 3 o'clock. Time to feed the birds. She ran to the cupboard, filled a paper bag with breadcrumbs, and started for the park. The birds expected her. For every Saturday afternoon, she went to the very same spot to scatter the crumbs. That's a nice thing to do. And birds came. All sorts of birds, fluttering and twittering and cooing. They all knew Jennie. Some ate out of her hand. Others hopped happily on her head. Soon every last crumb was gone, and away they flew. For a while, Jennie forgot about her new hat. She was making friends with the birds. But walking home, Jennie remembered and wished out loud, "Oh, I wish my hat were just a little fancier." The next morning, Jennie got up early and peeped out the window. What lovely hats she saw. Her hat isn't like that, is it? Later, she went to church with her father, mother, and friends. All around her, hats appeared like flowers in a garden. And there's Jennie. As they left the church, Jennie saw some birds, then more and more birds. Were they following her? Look at her mom's hat. They fluttered down to her plain hat, carrying red and violet flowers and leaves, colored eggs, and a paper fan. They added a picture of swans on a quiet lake and some big red and yellow roses. Oh my goodness, boys and girls. Is her hat fancy now? I think it is. Her friends helped her out. And two big green and orange leaves, more pictures, and some paper flowers. More real flowers and a pink valentine. Look at Jennie's face. Does she look happy? That is a big flowery hat now. Then all the birds swooped down together, flapping and fluttering around Jennie's new hat. That looks beautiful, boys and girls. Suddenly, they all flew away, and on Jennie's head sat the most beautiful hat. At the very top was a nest of chirping young birds. Jennie felt like chirping too, happy from head to toe. She felt like she was walking on air. People stared in wonder. Behind her flew the birds, watchful and proud. When they all reached her house, the birds, twittering and singing, picked up the nest of little ones and flew back to their home in the park. Jennie waved goodbye. "Thank you," she called. Jennie's mother helped her wrap the wonderful hat, piled high with lovely things. Even after the flowers and the leaves had dried, it would be saved and looked at and remembered for a really long time. That's a beautiful way to save that. The end. I loved that story, boys and girls. That was really nice. So I hope you could read more of Ezra Jack Keats' books. Maybe when the libraries open back up, you could go in and take those out. See you soon, boys and girls. I miss you.